Gauri. I'm a theatre practitioner, educator, and a mother. And today I would like to start by sharing a short story with everyone. This story I hold very, very close to my heart. Now this story is about two best friends, Tara and Priya. Tara and Priya were girls from a very small town. And not only were they best friends, they were also neighbors. So Tara and Priya grew up together. They spent almost each day of their lives together. Despite a big difference between Tara and Priya. Tara was this adventurous, fun-loving, go-getter kind of a girl. She almost befriended anyone in a jiffy. Instantly she would make friends, go out, play, express her feelings openly. On the other hand, Priya was a very shy, introvert girl. She liked spending most of her time in her house reading books. But despite all of this difference between the two, they were best friends. While Tara would tell her all the stories of her adventures from outside, Priya would tell her the stories, the world that she has. And they were both very happy being together with each other. But Tara's parents were very worried about Tara. And they constantly kept telling Tara and comparing her with Priya. They would sit Tara down and tell her, "You spend so much time with Priya. Why don't you learn something from her? I mean, look at her. She's so beautiful, so soft-spoken, the way she carries herself. Besides, she's so responsible. I mean, I can trust her with anything. And look at yourself, Tara. What are you even doing with your life? You spend most of the time playing with those useless boys outside. Look at your hair. Have you even looked at yourself, the kind of clothes that you wear? Your scores are dropping. You are completely good for nothing, Tara. A totally useless kid." On the other hand, the scenario was not much different in Priya's house. Priya's parents would also sit her down and tell her, but different things. They would constantly tell Priya to stay away from Tara because they thought that Tara was a very bad influence for their daughter. They told her to maintain distance. They thought that if you will hang around a lot with Tara, people will start thinking of you as if you are like her. And you are nowhere like her. You look at you, yourself. You're so different. Why do you want people to talk about you? Maintain distance. It's not good to hang around with Tara. Every day, occasional things turned into everyday talks in their homes. But nothing would change a bit between Tara and Priya. They were close, very close to each other. And they would laugh at their parents for thinking that they can separate them. Anyway, time passed by. Their friendship turned into a very, very strong bond. Now it is this time when they were in the 9th grade and their exams were approaching. Priya has been really studying hard for her exams because for her scores really mattered. For Tara, there were other things to do rather spending all the time studying. So last minute pressure, Tara is sitting with her books. Next day is her exam. All night she's sitting and flipping the pages of her books. She's re-going through her notes. Nothing is coming, nothing is making sense. Plus the pressure that she cannot fail and all those words that she has been told throughout these years of being hopeless, useless, good for nothing. They are just coming over her head again and again and again and again. And she sits down holding her book and says, "There's nothing I can do." Anyway, the day approaches and both Tara and Priya go to their school for their exams. While Tara is sitting with the paper, she quietly looks around and sees that there's someone watching. And when she's assured that there's no one watching her, she takes this shit out of her sleeves and starts copying. When she's copying, there's a teacher who comes and catches her red-handed copying, and she's instantly asked to leave the classroom, and she's announced in front of the entire class that how she was cheating in the final exams. Tara was so embarrassed. She was shivering, trembling from inside. Her face turned red. She did not know what to do. She's standing outside the classroom while all the others are writing their papers. Everyone who's going around is looking at her, laughing at her, making a fool out of her. It was too much for Tara to take. She almost was shattered from inside. But that day something else also changed. That day, while Tara was waiting outside the classroom for her best friend Priya, Priya did not stop for her. She looked at her and walked away. Tara could not understand this behavior. So she ran after Priya, calling her, "Priya, listen to me." But Priya rushed as if she didn't even hear anything. So that day, for the first time in 14 years, Tara went back home from school all alone, without Priya. There were so many thoughts that she had in her little mind. Is Priya going to talk to me ever again? Is anybody ever going to be friends with me again? How could I do such a blunder? How am I going to face my parents? What if they throw me out of the school? What is going to happen to me? That 15 minutes walk from home to school seemed like a never-ending road for Tara. Finally, Tara reached home. And there's this thing about small towns, huh? The rumors reach before you. As soon as her parents saw her, the first thing that they did was slap Tara on her face and told her that she was shameless, and all that she could ever bring her parents would be disgust. They threw her in her room and told her that she's not allowed to go out anymore. She's not allowed to meet anyone. But that night, her friend Rahul came to see her and requested her parents to let him meet Tara for just 5 minutes. He went to Tara. They spoke. They spoke not for a while, but for very long. And it got very late when Rahul returned home. It was very comforting to speak with someone for Tara. And finally she could gather the courage to go to school again tomorrow. So she woke up in the morning and she went to school. She could still see all those eyes looking at her, those people laughing at her. And while she was just coming, she was just sinking into the fact that everybody is talking about her. She heard a girl whisper from behind, "What else can you expect from a slut?" A slut? I was in total disbelief. I'm sorry. Tara was in total disbelief. Why are they calling me a slut? What have I done? good for nothing, useless, hopeless, ungrateful, cheater, slut was too much, just too much for Tara to handle. And that actually shattered her. So when Tara was 18, from being this adventure-loving, go-getter, confident, extrovert, expressing her feeling out loud, she turned into this self-critical, seeking validation, underconfident, introvert, isolated girl. Now, this is not something that we have heard for the first time, or this is not something that has not happened to us. Now, if we actually leave the story and come to reality and look at the data, it is said that there are 41% people under the age of 18, and 21% of them suffer from depression. The reason of depression is mostly negatively impacted self-esteem during the growing up years, out of which the two main reasons are name calling and rumors spreading. Now that we have identified the problem, the big question is, what can we do? Let's just for a moment go back to the story. What happened? When Tara was caught cheating, everyone in her school laughed at her. When she was called a slut, everyone again laughed at her. But if you look closely, both the times, there was a pattern that was broken. Whenever a pattern is broken, people tend to laugh at someone. Whenever something abnormal happens, let me put it like that, which is not so normal, people tend to laugh. Let me give a few examples here to understand this more with clarity. A boy getting married to a boy, a pattern is broken. People laugh at them. A person stammering, a pattern is broken. People laugh at them. A girl swearing in public, a pattern is broken. People laugh at them. So I started with a seemingly very, very simple idea in my classroom, which is laugh at someone or laugh with someone. We practice this ritual almost every day in the beginning of the class. And then we bring in question everything or everyone who breaks a pattern and take a closer look at that. A very, very closer look at that person or that situation, wherever any pattern was broken. And then use it as a stimulus for a creative process. And when we use this as a stimulus for creating a story, a play, a painting, in that journey, in that creative journey, the way we had been looking at these broken patterns, or I might say these absurdities, it completely changes. And now what we actually do is not laugh at them, but laugh with them. Thank you very much.